What is going on, everybody? It is me, the Viking Weeb, here with my boy No Name for episode 9 of Gentlest of Men podcast. First off, No Name, what's up, man?
Not a whole lot, man. Just chilling, you know?
I dig that. I do. I do. We have just started this week doing the Borderlands playthrough. We're going to do the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that goes as far as how far we make it before we decide, hey, let's take a break of Borderlands. I don't think it'll come very soon. But with that being said, let's move on into Song of the Week. My Song of the Week I'm gonna go off on a limb here because I normally don't go with old school stuff, and I say old school, but I don't know how old school people view this song. I don't really know my
Mm-hmm.
audience's age. I will say the song is Blow Me Away by Breaking Benjamin. Now, I don't love Breaking Benjamin. In fact, this is the only song I like by Breaking Benjamin. But it's off the Halo 2 soundtrack, and I think that's what makes it good for me. Yeah.
Don't know this song. And the
Wow.
fact that I don't really irritates me because I know I've heard it then.
Yeah, you've had to have heard it. It's on the soundtrack. But that's the
Yeah.
song of the week for me. Without further ado, let's go ahead and press to our first topic here, though.
All right.
First topic, I have obscure games, aka games nobody's heard of.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you take this one away, man, because I know you got a few.
Um, okay. So honestly, I've just been scrolling through my Steam. But obviously, I feel like we've all had those like kids games that we played when we were younger and you're like, "Oh my God, I You know what? I'm gonna take this in a different direction that I think you didn't realize. Um, it's not a video game. It's a board game.
Oh,
I don't know what it's called. I remember I used to know, but it was a vampire hunter board game, and it was such a cool like ahead of its time premise where there was a tower in the middle that would have a red light and a blue light, and it's exactly how like the glasses would work back in that time. You if the red light was illuminated, there was different stuff on the board that you could see that you could move your character around, and it would depend if that would be a vampire or a skeleton or like a villager. And then it was a blue light, it was a werewolf. So a villager could become a werewolf or an undead or like something like that. And gosh, dude, I remember playing this with my brothers at a super young age, like closing the blinds on our bedroom in like the middle of the day just so we could like huddle up, like put a blanket over us and play the game so that we got the because we were too scared to play it at night for some reason, even though it was just a board game. It's not like we're fucking with a Ouija board or anything like that.
whoa,
But
a Waluigi board.
wow, that's what the demons sound like when you summon them with a Waluigi board. But gosh, it was such a fun game. Never knew the rules. Would I want to play it again? Absolutely. I would want to get that game again just so I could play it. I have other games, but I want to throw it over you quick just to see what you have. Because I know
Hell
you
yeah.
probably do have a video game.
I'm gonna start off with our beloved favorite developing company, Bungie. One of their earlier games, they had a game called Oni that I was a huge fan of, and they also had a game,
ONI?
huh?
ONI, Oni?
Yes, ONI. And then they had another really cool game that was kind of a predecessor to Halo 1 Combat Evolved, and that was Marathon Man. And that was good too. That was back in the day when Bungie was still in a garage.
I
There
want you
was
to know
another
you can
one.
still download Bungie, or Oni, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely can if you want to. There's another one I'm trying to think of. It wasn't Timescape. Maybe it was Timescape. There was also Time Splitters, but that's not really.
Oh, by the way, I found the name of the game almost immediately.
What is it?
Uh, it's the Vampire Hunter, the game.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. So much nostalgia is hitting me right now.
What's another one? I had another one on top of my head. Uh, oh yeah, Warriors of the Eternal Sun. That was a pretty cool game. That was old as fuck.
Warriors of the Eternal Sun.
That was on the Sega Genesis.
Wow, a Dungeons and Dragons game. Wow. Have you known that you've just been playing Dungeons and Dragons for years upon years?
Hell yeah. Yes, of course.
Wow, this looks just like classic D&D. I love that.
Core rules.
I'm gonna throw one more out there.
Do it.
Um, it's just like a cottage core game called Tiny Glade. It's been on my. I was following it for a while till it came out, and it's just a game where you can just build a little like house, not house, but like you're just given. It's essentially you're just given rectangles and walls. It's like, all right, build whatever you want, and you can angle the rectangles, which is the base of the house, and then you can add other rectangles on top of the rectangles, and you can basically make whatever you want. And it's a lot of fun. Um, and it makes sense. Like if you're like, "Oh, I've seen this on a house. Let me try and do this." And it works. And it's like, "Oh, I don't know why I didn't think of trying to do that before." And like they have preloaded maps sometimes with a house on it. It's like, "Here, add more to this." So it gives you like a little bit of inspiration and it's like, "Here, work with that." Where I've built like a mansion and then a small little like side house and stuff like that. You can build a castle essentially, and it's just really fun. It's just a good way to kill a lot of time.
I did thoroughly enjoy that game. I just downloaded the demo like a month ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Definitely good. Definitely good. Very enjoyable.
Agreed.
There's a game I'm thinking of, and it's escaping me, but I can tell you what company makes it. It's Konami. Konami makes it. It's a Ninja Gaiden style game,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like the Doom version of Ninja Gaiden. Like it's a top down. You got gear you can throw and use and stuff like that. You're hunting monsters and evil samurai.
Mm-hmm.
There is a purpose to the game, but for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. But it's by Konami. But speaking of Konami, I was just thinking, there was another one by them that was also really good. It was a very old Yu-Gi-Oh game. Like I'm
Oh,
talking PlayStation 1 Yu-Gi-Oh game. And I feel like
wow.
no one ever played that game because the whole point of the game was it was a prequel to Yu-Gi-Oh. You played as the Pharaoh, dueling everybody
It's fucking nuts.
from Burke.
I couldn't even think of that.
Yeah, that was
To play that like a prequel to Yu-Gi-Oh.
and that was what was so cool. It was a prequel to the show that I was watching, and I was like, wow, I wish they'd have this on the TV and like get to learn about it over time. But I
Mm.
was playing it. I could never beat what's his face, the actual end game villain of Yu-Gi-Oh. I could never beat him because you fought him in the early game.
Mm-hmm. Um,
There's Sunset Riders.
That sounds so familiar.
You probably would know it if you saw it. I think that's Konami as
That's
well, actually.
Sunset Riders.
Like tripping?
SNES. Oh yeah, I haven't played this, but I've seen this. Interesting.
Throw some more out so I
Very.
can get more ideas. I'm
Ah
tripping.
man, I wish I had more. I never really played obscure games. I know I played
He's a
when
mainstream,
GameFly was still a
guys.
thing. I was gonna say I am a bit of a mainstream like king. I don't really like stray away from that. Like I don't know depending on the audience's age that watches you, like Spyro, not at all obscure in any way. But I know I was the only person that had it in where I was. And like playing the original Spyro was awesome.
Yo, Spyro is a
Um,
great game.
Agreed. I never bought like the new ones that came out that looked really good. But yeah. Ah, man, I'm trying to think of other games that I have that are just like, oh, I don't think anybody has this. The best I got is potentially one of the fucking like other cottage core games I have. Oh man, even just I just don't got shit, man.
I was gonna say a lot of the backrooms games that we play aren't very well known.
Really?
Yeah,
I would have thought the opposite.
you'd think.
I would think, wouldn't I?
You have just thought. Ooh, what about
I have.
Toruk, the dinosaur game?
Yep. I was gonna say that is work.
Because they had a second one of
Um,
that too.
yeah, I remember I played one of them on the Xbox 360, and
Yeah,
it was insanely hard.
it's so
Just
hard.
because just because you had a limited amount of ammo and the dinosaurs could take a hit.
Yeah,
And I remember trying to kill the Spinosaurus or something like that, and it took me a while.
yeah.
And I just could not progress in that game. Um, Another game that people probably know of. It's not the new one for the Xbox One, but the original Ubisoft Xbox 360 Avatar game.
Ooh, good call.
Was a lot of fun, a lot better than it had any right to be. Human or Avatar, both playstyles were fun. In campaign, there was a multiplayer to this, and let me tell you, if you were a human, you were just fucked because you would see a 7 foot tall man jump out of nowhere with a stick and just kick your ass. Like the PvP was just super unbalanced, and that's what made it funny.
That's crazy.
Not fun, just funny.
Just funny.
Yeah. Oh my
Uh,
god. I'm trying to think of other ones. I know there's a lot of like the when the I feel like with the Wii and with the what is it? The Xbox Kinect, I feel like a lot of obscure games came out from those as well.
oh yeah, you're right.
Cuz I know I had a lot of the Xbox Kinect. I know I had a lot of games that were centralized around that. That just made no sense.
You
Gosh.
know, I'm gonna throw Soul Calibur in there because I don't feel like
Really, you
enough
would?
people play Soul Calibur.
I remember I bought it knowing it looking or no, sorry, thinking that it was like a medieval like game,
Yeah.
and then I think I jumped in at Soul Calibur 7. Hold on, let me see. Soul Calibur 7. It was the one before Ezio because then in one of them they added Ezio. It might have nope, it was.
Was that
It might
4?
have been 5 because I'm looking at 5 and 5 has or 6 has Geralt of Rivia.
Okay.
And I was like, I know I didn't play him. So oh fuck, oh wow, it might. I know it wasn't 5 because 5 had Ezio and I never had I never played with him. I had it on the 360. Was it Soul Calibur 4?
4
I don't
tracks.
know. It was 4. It was definitely 4.
Yeah, 4 was a good one. I think 2 is
Yeah.
still my favorite.
Whoa. Who had 2? Who was all in 2?
They had Spawn.
Wow, that's awesome.
Spawn
Soul
was
Calibur.
super fun.
I just remember if my parents were around, I couldn't play as any of the female characters.
Yeah. Only because they
Because
were a little,
exposed.
just a little. Not a lot.
Yeah, just a little. They definitely just didn't have their Hanga Ganga Gahoos just
Oh, you're
out and
talking about
about.
Ivy, huh? Leave Ivy alone.
Listen, I wish I could. Fuck. I'm looking at Ivy right now. Holy hell, how did I get to Rule 34? Well, that's weird. No, but yeah, I just remember playing the campaign to this game and being like, I have no idea what the fuck this story
You
is.
gotta read it.
Read it.
Yeah, I know, it's
That
terrible.
explains a lot why I never was into this game. But I did like the different weapons that you could make a custom character, and it was just a lot of fun to like try out the different weapons for like a character.
Agreed, yeah.
Last thing I'll say about Ivy is it was also fun to play with a kid. That was like, oh god, I can't look at this because then I would just play that character, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna kick your ass then because you can't look at the game. So I'm just gonna beat your shit
Hell yeah.
while my titties are out.
Look at them. Well, like, kick your ass. Kick your ass. Well, that's all I got for obscure games, unless you wanted to add anything additionally.
I'll add just two small ones. I don't think they're small in any way or like obscure. I just don't think a lot of people might have played it. One of
Fair.
them is Blood Hunt Vampire Masquerade.
Isn't that like a.
It's a battle royale with
Yeah.
vampires.
I. You know
It
what? I
can
think I
be fun.
downloaded
It's
that.
interesting. It's definitely interesting. You have no wait. I'm looking for your. There you are. Yeah, you have indeed. Nope, that's Angel. I don't think you have played this. At
I
least it
have
doesn't
not.
tell me.
I've installed it. I've never played it.
Yeah, it can be fun. It depends. There are some times where I have a lot of fun playing it, and there's other times where I'm like, bro, you are just. There are too many sweats.
I see. I can see that
And
easy.
yeah, the other one is gonna be Spellbreak. Also,
Ooh.
another.
Spellbreak was fun as fuck when it first came out.
Yep, I agree. It was very, very fun. I enjoyed uh, the concept behind it,
Yeah.
and then very quickly a lot of sweats, and I just was like, all right, this isn't this isn't that fun anymore
Yeah.
because it definitely did not used to be like this.
Yeah, it definitely went downhill
Really
pretty
quick,
quick.
last question. Um, Gray Zone. Do you still have that?
Yeah.
Because it looks, I still look at it and I'm like, wow, this game still looks good.
Oh yeah, no, I enjoy playing Gray Zone. I just played with only a couple people, and they
Yeah,
very consistently stopped playing it.
it's very fair. They're very fair on why it would just be like set to the background if those people didn't hop on regularly. But yeah, those are my few.
Cool. No,
Oh,
those were
oh
all good.
my
I feel
god.
like. Let's see. Next topic. So, No Name and I have kind of started a little bit of a book club, and we've been reading the book William. Now, I'll say this: we're both at different places in the book, and you'll be able to tell right away who's read more than the other. However, I'm going to let him explain where he's at first, So I know what
Easy.
I can say. So
I mean, as of right now, a character in the book has gone missing, and nobody knows why. Everybody think it's the husband,
actually,
but
you
the
know what?
husband.
We should probably give the premise of the book. I just realized we just said,
That's fair. What the book you just said the title, and we're in two different places.
oh
So
man, no, that's on me.
essentially, the book is about a smart house, essentially, where it's two engineers that live in the house. One helped build it, and the other funded it. Essentially, she's it's a husband and wife, and the wife was the CEO of the company that funded it, and the husband is the engineer behind it
Yep.
that helped make everything in the house. And this isn't like Disney where it's like, oh no, the house is taking over. It's like it talks about how they program it. It talks about how it's gonna revolutionize the world. I think they
Yeah.
mentioned something like that about how they're still in the testing phase about stuff. And so along with the house, the husband has also built a robot called William.
Thus the name of the book.
Um, yes. And essentially it's a horror book. We haven't really gotten into the horror part of it. But it is a very short story, about 5 hours long. Um, Also, I'm only like maybe an hour and a half in, and it's good. I like it. Like I was saying, one of the characters has gone missing, and the husband blacked out when it happened, so he has no idea what happened to him. Along with there are, oh gosh, I don't know how in depth you want to go with this.
I
So
mean, whatever feels right, to be honest. I mean, we got time.
okay, easy. So essentially, um, my working theory for the book right now is the husband isn't human. I think in his mind he is human, but the way he sees the world and interacts with it
Yep.
seems very confusing
Cause
because
like,
he always has to say how he
yes,
thinks his wife would feel or this is
yes.
what a normal couple would do. And he always is like, "Oh, or she does this with a thought of concern," or like he describes everything that she does, if it's affectionate or unaffectionate,
Yep.
or is there a secondary purpose to what she's doing here. And it's as if somebody who doesn't know emotions is talking. And the robot William that the husband makes is talking about how they both are imprisoned by the house because in the husband's mind he has a disease where he cannot leave the house, where he
Strange,
feels
huh? The guy that
physically
made it
ill.
can't
Right.
leave.
Yeah, which I'm like, I don't think he actually has this because it's not actually a human, where I don't know if he's a robot or if he's a smart AI, but essentially the husband and William talk about a third entity in the house that is a part of William that came to be just cuz, or because he believed in it, essentially, where it felt like it was real, so it became real. And they talk about the entity and stuff like that and how it's malevolent. And that's when the husband or the friend goes missing, and everyone's like, what happened to him? And he's like, I literally don't know, he probably left. And they're like, well, what do you mean that's not possible? And he was like, well, I don't know what you want from me. He's gone. We can check the cameras. Oh shit, the cameras are down. Why are the cameras down? How long have they been gone? Wow, about 15 minutes. This looks weird.
Yeah, that's a
And
really great. You really summed up like 10 minutes of the book just with that small little tidbit right there.
yeah, essentially that is the dynamic. Also, the guy that went missing is potentially the baby daddy of the wife because there are suggested themes that Davis is his name. The guy that went missing who impregnated the wife, because you see a lot of like, oh, they are very touchy feely with each other. Oh, he seems very quick to be there for her.
Right.
um and
Like
things like
the
that.
reason he went missing is because he stormed up stairs to basically yell at Henry, who's the main character, and William,
Correct.
because when they all went up there to see the robot, William, the
Hmm.
robot, like showed Lily, which is the wife, he
Hmm.
showed her, look, I can do tricks because you want me to, be just this robot. And he's
And we
smart.
should be very specific about this robot.
Yeah.
It is a box on a chair.
Yeah.
No arms, to my knowledge. I think they mentioned that they aren't arms, or he does have arms,
So
and
he's a box with a head and arms.
yes, with like plastic skin, essentially like a mannequin.
Yeah, stretched over his face is how it's described. But like, he does these tricks, right? Because they're like kind of belittling him in a way that's like,
They're like, "Oh, wow, look at this."
look at
And
this
he
toy, this
has
disgusting thing you made. Yeah, it's basically the Frankenstein monster is how they're treating this thing. And
and it's because he is almost self-aware.
yeah,
I don't want to say he is self-aware, but because it seems like it. It definitely seems like he is self-aware about where he is in this world.
yeah,
And they're yeah, like you said, they're belittling this thing because he keeps calling it a he, and he said, "Well, it's not even a he, it's an it." Like you're giving this thing more personality than it deserves. And so he was like, "Well, I can do tricks too. Like I can show you." And I didn't want to steal it away from you, so you can please pick it back up.
but basically, William hurts Lily. Not like he even says like he's not trying to harm her.
He just doesn't have any concept of what like how
Yeah,
strong he is.
he could just do things, and he was trying to show her that he's able to do stuff and whatnot.
Because
A
like
few
what he moves
things,
a like unattached arm, right? He moves a arm that he isn't attached to him in any way, and
correct.
like grabs her wrist to show that he could do it, but it like grabs it super hard because it's a machine, and like almost breaks her arm or something like that.
Yeah, it tears the skin a little bit, I think is how they describe it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they all run downstairs, Davis included, who's like holding her,
Yep.
a little unbecoming of a work friend.
Yeah.
And William, in the time being, he has not only been able to touch the belly of Lily, right? Because I feel that's a really important thing that just kind of was swooped over in the book. It's very temporary.
Hmm.
But basically, yeah, they all run downstairs. Davis comes back up to confront, the husband, the maker of this robot.
Yep.
And basically, yeah, when he gets up there, he's talking a lot of shit. Henry's trying to seem like he's a intimidating guy, and the lights go out and
And
he's missing.
yeah, essentially, he's talking mad shit about his marriage and shit. Henry pops off and was like, "I don't think I need you to talk to me about my marriage." And it's like, "Oh shit.
Yeah.
All right, Henry." And
Fucking stick
yeah,
up for once.
like
Stand up.
yeah. And he yeah, the lights go out. Davis is missing. They're trying to look for him currently, and that's where I'm at in the story. I think I still have like 3 hours left in the I we're also saying time because it's an audiobook that we're listening to.
Yeah.
Three
It's
three
not
hours and
real
9 minutes.
reading, it's listening.
Yeah, but
But I will say this
yeah.
I only have 45 minutes left.
Fuck.
Yeah. I think like chapter 40 is close to the end. So I won't deliver any spoilers. But what I will say of things that I've noticed that you've already passed, and I'm not saying you haven't noticed, but I
Hmm.
want to put it into discussion. A, some of the things that make me agree with you further that Henry's not a human is every time they describe something, whenever they describe how he feels, like you're right, he does say like, I wonder what she wants. I wonder what she's doing right now. She's analyzing me. Like he does
It's
look to
almost in the
her.
third person.
Yeah, it's very much so like third person. But in addition to that, whenever the actual author is describing things that Henry's going through, or like feelings that Henry's having, it's not a human like response. For instance, I give this example quite often because my wife, she also asks, like, why do you think that? She's also read the book. And I say, well, one of the describing things that they said was like, there's a common phrase of a chill runs up your spine or a chill runs down your spine. They
Yeah.
didn't use the phrase or term chill running down your spine. It's like they substituted both things that make it human. And they said a tremor that ran up to his cranium. That threw me off a little bit. I was like, all right, not. I mean, if he had a spine, he'd be a person because that confirms he has a
Hmm.
bone. Are we being literal here? And there was another one. What he, you know how you get like butterflies in your stomach when you're nervous? He said he had
Yeah.
sparks in his lungs. I was
Oh,
like,
I
that's
think I
very
remember that too.
machine.
Oh, yes, a lot of things he says just doesn't match, and I'm just like,
Yeah, and he does
that
a lot of
doesn't
analyzing too.
sound
Like
right.
he like you said, he looks to his wife for confirmation to be able to say or do things like a lot. And since she's so
Yeah.
good with computers, right? Because she even said she's a CEO. Now she's funding this little AI house project, but she's really good with computers. It wouldn't surprise me, and I'm still theorizing based off of kind of like where you're at in the book still.
Hmm.
I'm theorizing that Davis and Lily, which is Lily's the wife, Davis is the potential baby daddy. I feel like they're, I don't want to say a couple, but I want to say they're like a partner. Like they're partners. And
Hmm.
they're like partners with benefits, maybe something along those lines. I don't know. But regardless, I do think the baby is Davis's because when William did have a chance to like look at it, like Lily's belly, from that point forward, he started saying that, yeah, your wife could be lying to you, to Henry. Because one of the things we didn't
Hmm.
say in the very beginning is William does kind of like torture Henry just because he can. Like he knows which buttons to
Psychologically.
push. Yeah, psychologically. Like he knows which buttons to push. He calls him brother because he knows that shit pisses him off. He's like, I'm not your brother. Well, all right, man. Like,
Which is another reason why it's like, okay, why is he get so upset about that? And then why would it matter?
why would
And
it matter?
then, yeah, and it's just something that I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I also described Henry's actions and thought process of a psychopath, and not in the fact that like he's a mass murderer or like a serial killer. In the fact of psychopaths don't know how other people feel. They always have to think about how would somebody feel in this situation. Like they don't have emotions, to my knowledge, where it's like they're disconnected from their emotional reception, so they're able to be like they're able to think more logically and coldly, and they don't feel love, they don't feel like betrayal or anything like that. They just
Right.
don't have emotion, where that's how it feels Henry thinks,
Yeah.
where there is no emotion behind it, it is all logic.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Easy.
so I was like, I could see potentially that being a thing, but I am leaning closer to he's just not human in at all
And that's the other thing too.
because of
When you said psychopath, I didn't even think that he could have been a psychopath. And you're so right because psychopaths commonly think like I would even say more logic driven.
hmm.
So I didn't even catch that. So that was very, very good catch on your part.
Yeah, I just need to listen to this story a lot more. I should have a lot more time during my week now, because usually I would just play games with Pal when I get off work, and I would just do stuff with him. But now that he's with family for a little bit, I'm probably gonna push through this book on weeknights, and then I'll probably be done either today or tomorrow.
That's fair. I my plan is to finish the book either once again today or tomorrow. And then I think what's our next book that we're reading is Incidents Around the House is I think the one we're
Yep,
supposed to be
that's the
doing.
one.
And
That's it.
my
The
wife will be
har.
joining us, and then after that the Har.
Oh,
Yeah, but yeah, no, for sure. If you enjoy book talk or like content of horror books, because I'm more of the monster-driven book person. I like monsters. I like creatures. I much prefer reading about that than I do like a fantasy novel. Just give me a monster. Like if the novelization of Alien versus Predator was one of my first books that I read through, and I think
really?
that's why. Yeah, oh yeah, the minus like comic books and like anime manga, right? But like one of my first books. I think I was like 14. I don't know. Alien versus Predator, the movie just dropped, and I was like, I want to read this story.
I know one of the first series that I read was the second or the Seventh Son series, where it's about a guy who is the seventh son of a seventh son. And it gives, and apparently in the world, it gives them like paranormal like prowess. I won't say powers, just prowess, where it's like they're able to do certain stuff, deal with witches and shit like that. And it just, the world building on that series was amazing.
I will say
I
the
don't want to
movie
go
wasn't as
too
good,
far.
if I remember correctly.
Nope, it was fucking terrible.
Okay.
It really pissed me off because it was like inspired by, and I watched it and I went, my
This
parents were
isn't
like,
even the
didn't you?
seventh son.
Yeah, they were like, did you like it? And I went, that was terrible. And they're like, well, it was only inspired. It wasn't like supposed to be a recreation. I'm like, it was still terrible. Like
Yeah.
everything was so far off, it just made no sense. And they're like, "Well, what do you mean?" I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it. That movie pissed me off.
I could tell
I'll
you
say
you
that.
got heated quick. Ready to
Yeah,
go.
because I read the entire series. Fantastic series. I recommend it to anybody or anyone's kids that would like a little bit scarier books. I won't. It's not a horror by any
But
means,
it's got
but
horror concepts. I got you.
yes, yeah. Oh God, now I kind of want to listen to the series again.
Not again.
Well, I read it once and I was like, I would love to listen to it. It's an
Yeah.
expanding universe. It was really good.
Taking a little well shit. You probably taking a little bit of the world building. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna do this in D&D.
I couldn't even accomplish a fifth of that. I still have a perfect like map. I feel like of what that world looked like because it was so well described.
That
And
is
like
really cool.
I still remember where certain things looked like and what other shit. Ah man, it's making me want to reread those.
I might have to give it a shot just to see the world building aspect.
It's good. It's good. There's oh man, like it takes place in England, I want to say. I'm going to say for sure England, maybe Wales because I know they go to Ireland in one of the books.
Not Wales.
Yeah. I just know it's on that coast essentially and it's during a war or something like that. God, it's such oh man, I can't say enough good things about that author. Joseph Delaney, I still remember the author's name. That man knew how to write a series. I think there's like 14 books. They're not
Jeez.
long by
Oh,
by any means. I read one on a car ride to Wisconsin one time. Like
okay.
they're short. You could read it in a day.
Okay. Well, hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
might have to
Sorry, I went
jump
on a
into it.
tangent there.
No, you're good. I wanted to let you because I could tell you were getting hype, and you're like, no, and then you'd re-hype
Was
yourself
like
back
the
into
more
it.
I talked about it, the more shit I remembered. And I was like, God, that was a good book series. Damn.
But hey, without further ado, let's get to our last topic here, which
Agreed.
is our current review of DanDaDan. I want
I don't
to
know if my
first of
camera's
all,
showing right now. If not, then I'm just gonna look stupid.
oh man, I mean, if your camera was showing, or if your camera wasn't showing, you wouldn't look stupid because they couldn't see you. But it is showing.
Oh, okay.
So currently, I believe, what do they make it to? Episode 8?
8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
8.
made it to episode 8, and they're currently on hiatus. So I figured this was a good time, which, by the way, they're returning in like December, like 7th, I want to say. They're just taking a break
Okay.
over the holidays, which I'm cool with. I'm cool
Okay.
with that.
Yeah.
But
Touche, maybe.
I want to break down, not episode by episode, but I want to, first of all, I want to break down the dynamic of this show, and then I want to talk about my favorite parts. And I could tell you're swelling with you need to speak. I want to give you,
It's so good.
bro, give me the dynamic. Give me the dynamic.
The dynamic, dude, I want to say it's like close to like Ghost Stories almost. I've never
That's
seen
what I was
it.
gonna say. It's so close.
Never
to
seen Ghost
Ghost
Stories,
Stories
but
meets
from the
Card
clips I've
Captors.
seen,
Yo, my wife loves
look
Card Captors.
the
She can sing
amount
that
of, like,
song, the entire theme song off the dome piece, off the
I
rip.
love that.
I do too.
I love it.
I'm more of a Yu-Gi-Oh
Like,
guy.
so when I watch DanDaDan, I'm always running. I'm always on the treadmill. I'm watching it, and like the intro gets me like I turn up my speed, and I'm like, fuck, and I'm just yeah, and like I'm trying to like run to the beat of the song, and I'm just like and then I get done. I'm like, fuck, I'm tired now.
Yo, it is
um,
cool. It is
just the
cool.
entire premise of that fucking show is hilarious. Like I feel like they nailed the awkwardness of like
Yes.
a teenage, like, for lack of better terms, couple.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's
Because
so fucking funny.
like for those of you that haven't watched it, it is
Go watch it.
essentially well, yeah.
Stop
First
watching
of all,
us.
go
Go watch
watch it.
it.
You can actually hit pause right here and just pop open Netflix and watch the first episode and then come right back.
Dude, it's so
If you're not gonna do that, there are small spoilers, but they're not gonna be like groundbreaking show
oh
defining
shit. Okay.
spoilers. Like I'm gonna tell you the dynamic. You can learn about that in episode 1. I'm gonna tell you about the graphics. You can see that from the intro. These are things that I'm gonna talk about, and they could, in some weeb's mind, be considered spoilers. However, if you're a real weeb, like either one of us, you probably have watched it already. So I'm gonna continue. Okay, I'm gonna
Touche.
continue. The
You have been
dynamic.
warned.
You've been warned. That was your disclaimer.
Yeah.
The reason I like this show is the dynamic, because it has been so long since I've seen a dynamic like this. And I keep on saying dynamic, but you're probably wondering, what does that mean? I know what dynamic means, but what do you mean? I'm going to tell you right now. I was Okarun. I was a nerdy kid in school. I didn't have friends. I got made fun of. And I didn't have this girl, but I did have a homie that was kind of the same dynamic. He was a cool kid. I wasn't. And he had like very little knowledge of a lot of the really weird stuff I liked. But he liked something that was like up my alley that was very niche. And that was, he enjoyed, what was it? He was a Dragon Ball Z fan. And I was a Bleach, shoot, I was watching Berserk back then too, actually. So I was watching a bunch of weird off the wall anime. And I, even back then, because I'm the same way now, I don't like mainstream stuff. And he's like, no, you got to watch Dragon Ball Z. I'm so
And it
serious.
bums
And I
me
was like,
out.
I watched Dragon Ball. It wasn't good. And, now looking back on it, it wasn't great. It was a lot of filler. But it was still,
Yeah.
I can still say it was good. R.I.P. Toriyama. But listen, I'm going to say that my buddy, which, no name, you know him as Casey.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a whole group of friends. They all talked about what's going to happen next in Dragon Ball Z. They discussed power levels and they went over it, and I just sat in the corner doing my own thing, trying to draw new bankais. I would try to formulate, I guess, power levels with spiritual pressure. And I was just a super nerd. Didn't talk to a lot of people. And they kind of we kind of absorbed each other into our own group. Granted, he got absorbed into my group, there was nobody else. It was just me. But like I got to join his friend group and I
Yeah.
started watching Dragon Ball Z. So like I feel this dynamic. Maybe not on the like the ship level that these two are on, but I
Yeah.
do feel this dynamic of having a cool
But
kid and a nerdy kid link up over some niche shit.
even that though, it's like people would want to ship them, but I'm so glad there's a show where it's not somebody is head over heels for somebody else. It
Yes.
is just two people that really enjoy an occult like
Yes.
subject, and they just enjoy sharing that together. Where it's not because they're like, oh, he's so handsome, or oh, she's so hot. It's like, dude, I know you saw the shit about the aliens in the fucking in the
Yep.
article today. And it's like, I know, right? It's fucking wild. And it's just two genuine friends that are like, ah, fuck, I want to talk to them about this. Like, I
Yo,
want
that
to go and
episode
do
was
this because
so good.
so hard to watch, dude,
Yeah, I was like,
because it's
yo,
like
how
I
did
was
you
like,
miss each other?
fuck, dude. And so that episode I feel like is only so good because of the episode before it, where he is in her house and it's not like he's trying to be cute or anything, or he is like fully himself, where it's like she's like trying to be sympathetic towards him and show pity, and he's just like, you bitch. And she was like, don't show any sympathy to me, or something like that. I can't
Yeah.
remember what. He was just being authentically himself. He was like, I don't give a fuck what you think, or shit like that. It was just like, ah, man. It was just a true friendship that you get to see built.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking good. Like, the first three episodes, I don't know why. I just felt like I was watching a movie.
Oh yeah, no, agreed.
Because,
When the wife and I sat down to watch it, those first three episodes genuinely felt like there's got to be more. You can't end a movie like this.
yeah, 100%. And like the next episode is when they're like, "Oh, I want to fucking talk to them. Oh, they must be avoiding me. Oh, they don't like
It
me."
was a
Shit.
filler episode, but it was a good filler episode.
It's a filler episode, but fuck do I feel that though sometimes where it's
Yes.
like I don't see somebody and it's like, "Fuck, maybe they're avoiding me." Ah, shit. Okay, maybe it was all in my head that I thought we were super cool and in fact we were not. And then when you get that, like, God, I don't know if it sounds bad, but when you get the validation of, holy fuck, where have you been? I've been looking for you everywhere. And it's like, I've been, what?
Yo,
It
and when
was
they
just such a,
respond with "I've been looking for you as well," that's such a good feeling. I was looking
yeah,
for you. I was looking for you, man.
it's like, where the fuck have you been? It's like, I don't know, where have you been? Looking for you. Oh, cool. Hell yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah,
from, I would say episode 1 through 5 are just
top tier.
top tier, amazing. Nothing against episode 6. I just I don't remember what happens in episode 6.
That's where we find out the girl has the
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, that's right.
Not super great. But the
Nothing
last two
crazy
episodes
happens.
after that really tied it together, man. And yo, I told the wife, okay, episode 8. I was like, they're
Hold on.
really taking
Hold on.
a Demon Slayer approach.
Before we get to episode 8, I want to talk about episode 7.
That's fair. That's fair.
I want to go in order because we've kind of gone in order so far. Where I just want to talk about episode 7,
Yeah, you're
and
right.
I remember watching episode 7, and like tearing up, and I'm like, "Fuck all these people in this fucking waiting room are about to watch me cry because of this episode."
Yeah, it's a good
And
episode.
like, it was in my like, I was watching it, and as soon as it finished, I was like, "That was the greatest episode of anime I've probably seen in a long time." where it hit so many notes with
Yeah.
very little dialogue.
Yes.
And I thought it hit on such an emotional level. And I was like, fuck. I was not ready for the amount of sadness and backstory I was going to get here. But I'm so glad I got it because it makes that ending so much better. And
Yes.
I just remember being in my feels, and then the cat fucking with the air dryer, and then I just started laughing as hard as I could, cause I was like, "Son of a bitch!" They kaiju number 8 us, where
We
kaiju
did
number
need
8
that
will have
cat
like
though.
a lot of fucking shit happening, and then it's just cut off. Nobody loves you the way I do. It's just that's how I felt at the end of episode 7, and then it was just the silly outro, and I'm just like, nah, man, you can't just give me a fucking gut punch with an uppercut to a fucking silly cat outro. I was like, oh my god.
Well, you know why they do that? Because I forget there was like 2 or 3 different anime, and I'm gonna fast pace this tangent real quick because I want to keep right at an hour, and we're at 51 minutes.
Okay.
I think it was an episode of shoot, I want to say it was Fate. I think Made in the Abyss was another one, and I want to say JoJo's was actually another one where there's a very traumatic episode, and following with the outro, it's not the normal outro. It's like kind of quiet, and
Oh.
I felt like that would have gone super hard at the end of episode 7. It would have made you be
I
like, yeah, no, I'm gonna have to watch 8
that
right
would
now.
have that would have made me be like, I guess I'm just gonna face plant on this fucking treadmill right now and hope that does the trick because fuck, the
Yo,
amount of melancholy I feel right now is just insane.
because like the whole time I'm thinking, yo, Okarun could, if he knew how to fight, he could dust this demon so
Oh,
easy.
that's the entire time how I feel. Where I'm like, if Kintakakura knew how to like get a
No, don't you
hold
call
of
him
the
by his real
sword,
name.
dude. Yeah, dude, she's
That
about to
shit's
fucking
so
yell at
funny.
me, dude. And that's another part is like the guy that she falls for is the exact guy that he is, but
Yeah,
she doesn't let that overshadow the fact that he is just kind of a cool guy.
right. And that's another like they're they're doing what I did with my wife. They're establishing a friendship before they ship. And I love
Agreed.
that.
Yes. Yes.
That is the way.
Um, and now episode 8 is kind
Yeah,
of
now
just throwing all of that out the window. Everything we've said, episode 8 just kind of like lights a match and burns it all cuz it's
yeah.
just like it starts trying to establish the romance vibes, I will say.
Yeah, it
In
does.
a way of like they both went, "Oh shit, I don't think I ever thought about this person in that way."
Well, we see it from Okarun kind of early on. I want to say in like episode 5 or maybe even 4
So,
or 5, someone
6.
calls her cute and he's like, "Huh, I've never thought about her cute." And then like from that point
Well,
forward,
it's
he doesn't
because
look at her.
I was gonna say I want to say it's the guy who's like, hey, you're friends with ISA, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he was like, kind of, I guess. And he was like, well, you should like say a good word because I hear she puts out or something like that. And like, because it starts off with like, yeah, I think she's cute. And he's like, oh shit, I never thought about her like that. And then he goes, yeah, and I also hear she puts out. And he goes, the fuck did you just say? Not exactly the words. He pretty much just goes demon mode and grabs the motherfucker
He
and goes,
really does.
"Hey, Momo ain't like that. Don't say that ever again."
Yo, but the real
And
question
like,
is, did the other 2 dudes in the room
I
see
don't
that?
think they
Because
did.
they didn't react.
Cause I was gonna say I think it was what they saw because they can't see the aura change. I think they just saw Okarun just get fucking mad and make a motherfucker drop to his fucking knees by grabbing his collar.
Crazy.
Which is
Crazy.
the hardest thing a guy could ask for to be like, oh shit.
I don't know.
and everyone
I'm
else
really
just being like
thinking.
this quiet. You think they saw it?
No, no, I don't think they saw it. I think
Okay.
I think only people he touches can
Oh,
see
you
it.
think he saw it? The guy that
Oh
he
yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah.
actually said that to. Which brings me to the other part of that, where it's not only does he start seeing Miss ISA, as he refers to her, like that, is that she also starts seeing him like that because she now feels like a protectiveness over him because there's a girl that flirts with him on purpose only because she thinks she can do that to any guy she wants, and she kind of protects him from that, where instead of being like, oh, this bitch is just bullying him, she's like, and like the girl is very much like, oh, he would be lucky to even get a chance with me or something like that.
Yeah.
And I still haven't forgiven her for that.
No, me either. I will say she did earn a little bit of respect with the hug.
Oh yeah, but that wasn't for Ken though, and
No.
that's why I don't think she's gotten back. But and now she's acting like everything's okay, even though, and now she's playing the forbidden love card,
Yeah,
which I
fuck
think
you.
is funny. But I don't think I'm excited for the next episode, and that's why I'm so upset they're taking a fucking hiatus right now.
Well, it's over the holidays, man. Like I get it.
Look, I understand. I get that part. But fuck, man. You're leaving me on a situation that went bad in episode 8, where it's like, oh, wow, the series of events that I know is happening. When you first see it, I'm like, there's something we're missing. I know this wouldn't happen. And then as soon as you're like, oh, shit, cool, Ken's working out. I love to see it. Get after it, King. And it's just funny. And now I'm like, I want more. I want it every Friday.
I do
Thursday for
too,
you,
man.
Friday for me.
I genuinely love this show, and the one thing I don't think we've touched on yet, which is actually one of my favorite parts, it's the art style.
Oh, I
The
thought you were
art
about to
style
say the
is
karate.
great. Well, no, 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 no. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there because the fan
Okay.
service is spot on. They don't do too much. They definitely don't do too little. They tease it and they move on. And that's what
Yes,
fan service is
yes,
supposed to
yes.
be. It's not supposed to be like you shouldn't have material is what I'm trying to say. You shouldn't
I
get
was gonna say,
material
like,
from this.
what do you mean by material?
Like you can pause and rewind the show itself.
Okay, okay. That's fair. That's
Like
fair. Okay.
if Rule
I'm like,
34 artists want to take it further, go for it. But like
I was gonna say, because that is going to exist. I'm sure it already
they
exists.
already redid the
But
the
okay,
the
I see what you
episode at
mean.
the end where she's like, "Show me it."
Oh my god.
I guarantee it
Fucking
exists.
Christ, dude. It's so funny.
Oh
To,
yeah.
but I agree. The art style is so beautiful to see that. Also, I want to say the dynamic between Miss ISA and her grandmother is awesome
It
because it
is.
feels genuine and it feels like that fun relationship that some people have with their grandparents.
Yeah. But like there's still a little resentment in there. Like it feels real. Like she's a well-rounded
Yeah,
character that has dislikes, likes her granny for some things, misses her granny in certain situations, but
I think
dislikes her
the
for this.
intro to the granny is hilarious with the TV show
Oh yeah.
where it's asking all the questions. No, no, no. The next day, all of this shit comes out, and she goes, "I bet if they ask him his favorite food, it's fucking ramen too, or something like that." Oh
Oh
god.
man. No, that is
So,
it is great. Genuinely this show has become one of my go-to you need to watch this right now shows. And I don't even care if it's bandwagon. I'm enjoying the shit out of it right now.
it's so
There's
good.
a few others that are supposed to come out that are going to be just like this. Maybe not with the same dynamic, maybe not with the same like
Mhm.
art style, but that I'm just as excited for. One of them I mentioned to you and Pal a little while ago. It's called Go Go Loser Ranger.
I think
And
I
I've
remember
been
you
reading the
mentioning.
manga. I'm on volume 5, I want to say, but it's not supposed to come out till next year. I think we're looking at February, March timeframe for the first
Okay.
episode to drop. And then the other one is Sakamoto Days, which I'm super pumped for because I started reading that right before I got married, and I
Okay.
stopped all of a sudden. I don't know what. It's a slice of life series about a assassin that is now a convenience store owner. Oh, and he
I
has a
know the. I
family,
know.
and
I
it's
was to
like
say
40
he's
years in the
kind of
future.
like he has a mustache, right? And it's
Yeah, and
kind of
he's
a
fat,
portly man.
but he
Yeah.
used to
Okay.
be
I
like
know. I know what you're
peak
talking about.
assassin. I'm
Yeah.
so excited for that series, man. Because I feel like that's me. Like not in the standpoint of I'm an assassin, but like
I
your golden days of like your peak health are behind you. And now
I think
I'm
it's gonna
just
be up there.
happy.
Go ahead. Yeah. I think it's gonna be up there with like A Way of the House Husband, kind of like feel.
Yes.
Probably better animated,
Yeah.
but
Well, House
I'm
Husband's a
I'm
visual
also
novel.
yeah.
It's a visual novel. They'd be reading it.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. But yeah, I'm excited for those as well. Excited for this show to pick back up too.
Yeah, I could tell.
I hope
Oh,
they enjoy
and
their
don't forget
hiatus.
your solo leveling.
Oh, don't you worry. I haven't
I
forgotten.
don't forget for you. I'm not even pumped for it on the level I know you are, but I'm excited for you. When is that supposed to come back out anyway?
January 1st, baby.
Oh, right at the start.
I was already looking at it. I was like,
You're supposed to have that
I
memorized. You know, don't
well,
incriminate yourself.
I keep seeing a bunch of shit that's like, oh, it comes out in December. Oh, it comes out at the beginning of
I
December.
thought it
Oh,
was
it
supposed to come
comes
out in
out.
December.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to, but I think they might have pushed it just a little bit, which
That
I don't
tracks.
mind.
No, I don't mind
Because
either.
I want to say it was also supposed to come out in like October, but I am also just excited for this because fuck, dude. I as someone who's read it all and I know what's gonna happen in this season, I'm so fucking ready for it, dude. God, I'm so fucking ready for it.
Yo, speaking of read it all and excited for this next season, I am not for Demon Slayer. They need to hurry the fuck up. Quit making movies. Just make the series. You already
They're not.
pocketed the
They're
money.
finishing. Three movies. That's how they're ending the series.
God, it's like Attack on Titan all over again. Part
It is.
It's final
Yeah.
part
We're
1.
not good. We're not going to see the third movie until 2026.
I'm gonna fist fight them.
I
But
bet.
anyway,
I'm predicting it.
on that fucking note, thank you all for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here to have a spit roast of these different movies, or not movies, topics here. We can get it because there's two of
Agreed.
us and we put them between us.
Hmm.
And it's been an absolute pleasure to be able to fill your earbuds and or your car and or just
Your headphones.
around you, yeah, whatever it is, with these lovely topics. Please tune in for episode 10, where we'll discuss more stuff. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You just have to show up and trust me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's going to be a real deal. We might have No Name back with us for episode 10. It might be a solo
Maybe.
dolo episode. It depends on where we're at. But with that being said, before I cut us off here, No Name, do I have anything left from you? You good? I mean, you got anything left? Any?
Oh,
Right.
you cut out for me. You cut out a little bit. So the
Oops.
keyword I missed was, do you have anything?
Wow. Do have anything?
Uh, yeah, I guess. Stay tuned for the Bucket Brigade. Eventually, we're gonna be doing a 100 subscriber bucket list episode. Because we're there. I don't know if you guys checked or if you guys look over at the Bucket Brigade. We have 100 subscribers. We're there. We might not be as big as over here on Vic's channel with 3,000 and counting.
Hey,
hold
look,
on. Let me get a live so I'm not like downplaying your account.
uh,
The Viking Weeb. My bad. Holy fuck! What the shit, dude? Almost 5,000.
we're gonna do some giveaways at 5,000. I'm gonna give away a few fucks.
Holy hell,
One
dude.
fuck per
Well,
subscriber,
hey,
and it's not what you think.
hey, the Bucket Brigade, good shit going on over there.
Yeah.
Maybe not as good as over here,
No, no,
but
no. Just
still,
as good.
good
If
shit.
if you by chance are watching this and you're not already subscribed to the Bucket Brigade, please go over there and check out our content. We're funnier together. I know I'm funny. I can tell. I just know this for a fact. But
There's
like,
almost
for the
5,000
love
people
of
think so.
God, if you go over there, they're funny too, and we're all funny together. More importantly, we're funny when we get pissed off at each other. So we'll be doing a
Holy
stream of For
shit.
Honor very soon.
Right, right you are.
Yeah. I was hoping you were gonna disagree. I was giving you a moment there to like tell me to fuck off. But anyway, thank you for tuning in today to the Gentlest of Men. It's been an absolute pleasure hosting here for you. We look forward to seeing you in the future. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. If you hit the little bell button, I'll send you a text message the moment I go live or the moment I upload a new video. Do the same for the Bucket Brigade. If you don't do it here, do it over there. Without further ado, be well, be safe, be good, and as always, good night.